Vincent Van Gogh.
Oh,
Yes,
lovely.
Vincent Van Gogh.
I love this. We're back on the Morning Brew with Friends, and we're talking theater. And we have Travis Armstrong and Mandy Hanson, and you guys are at the Albuquerque Theater with an awesome new show based on the life of Vincent Van Gogh. This is going to be very cool. So who cuts their ear off?
Nobody yet.
That's
Very
Vincent's
early in
later
his
years.
life.
That's awesome. So you guys, how did you guys get into the show? And tell me a little bit about what it is about. We know it's about Vincent Van Gogh, but is it about like his early years, his later years, his crazy years, or were they all his crazy years?
They're pretty much all his crazy years.
Yeah.
But this is his early life when he was in Brixton, England. He was still working as an art dealer. Mm-hmm. And yeah, he ends up going to this boarding house. He was looking for a place to live, and he runs into us. So.
And you guys play the boarding house managers.
I don't. I
No.
actually play his sister.
Oh, okay.
He's a Dutchman, and so he just has left home, and he's been in England for a little while. And I come in later after he's been influenced by the ways of England. So.
And does the play get into all of that and how he becomes influenced by England and how that really changes his style as an artist?
He does, especially with my character Sam, because I'm a working man. I work on a building team. I do like, paintings, walls and ceilings, that sort of thing. And he actually mocks me at first, like, "Oh, you're a manual workman." Oh, I didn't know. And then I influence him to, "Hey, try it out yourself," because at that time he's only doing sketches. Really, he hasn't.
He hadn't even gone into painting
No,
yet.
he hadn't.
That's very cool. He seems like one of the coolest artists around ever. He's one of the most famous ones,
Right.
For sure. Do you think the play really gets at that what made him that special?
Well, what it does is it kind of gives you an idea of how he gets started, because he comes from the house of a country pastor, and he's very pious, and he seems to have a very controlling family. When he moves to London, and this is an imagined time, these are true events, he lived in this house, but they're not quite sure what happened, and it's assumed that he fell in love with the younger woman, but there's a twist in this play that there's a romance. So it starts to get him to look into more of his emotional side of things and kind of come out of his shell versus being what seemed to be kind of a mouse about the house in the pastor's house.
Yeah, cool. So how did you guys get into acting, and how did you guys get into this show?
I've been acting my whole life.
Yeah?
So I've been doing theater for.
Did you guys go through the UNM program and all of that too?
I didn't.
You didn't?
I don't know about.
I
Mandy.
haven't. I did a lot of theater in high school and worked a lot, and then just recently got back into community theater.
Oh, good. Well, the Ox Dog is one of our favorites here on the show, and they always do great stuff. And the new black box there is really cool.
It's beautiful.
Do you guys get to use that in a cool way with this show, or is it more of a proscenium? When you think about the traditional setup, or is this because the Ox Dog, am I right, it is the black box, and it is the theater in the round, right?
It's not in the round.
It's not in
no.
the round, okay.
It's a theater. We have one set. It's nice, cozy set of a kitchen in England. So
Oh, is that mainly where it takes place, is in the kitchen?
in the kitchen, yeah.
That's where we always want to hang out.
Yeah.
Whenever you go to somebody's house, well, I don't know what it is, we always hang out in the kitchen.
Yeah, it's the most social setting.
It always is. Every party I go to, everybody's just
Right.
in the kitchen. There can be the rest of everything in the house, and we always want to just be in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Do you guys get to use that, and how does that kind of play into, basically, how does that drive the show forward, being in the kitchen?
Well, it's kind of funny for my character. I come in and immediately start invading the space and cleaning everything,
That's what my sister does, too.
trying to figure out what's going on, because Vincent had come home at some point and we all noticed he was different, so I was kind of sent in to see what has changed and to snoop around. And that's kind of where the heart of the family is, and it's a very tight-knit family they have there in England. So, and it makes it very real, lots of cooking and drinking of tea, and yeah.
That's cool. That's very cool. So, because it's set in Brighton, do you guys have to put on the accents?
Oh yes.
And then, yeah, I guess you would, being Sam,
Right.
being an Englishman.
Of course.
And then, if you're Van Gogh's sister, then do you have to put on like a Dutch, English,
Yeah.
goofball accent?
Yes.
What does that even sound like? Because you've got to, I guess, you got to sound Dutch.
Yeah. I've been working on it. It's You'll have to come to the show to hear it. It's
Yeah.
part of the comedic relief for.
It's
Oh,
beautiful.
excellent.
Just beautiful.
Excellent. So how do you learn to do accents? I always love this part about talking to actors because I can't do any accents at all. Like I can barely speak regular English, let alone accented English. And so how do you learn to like do that?
Dialect coach.
Oh, is there one? Do you have one? Is that at the theater, or is that somebody you've like hired on your own to like help
A
you out?
little bit of both.
Yeah.
When we first got the roles, I went straight to a dialect coach and asked, "Hey, you're from London, help me out here." And then actually, Vicky did send in a dialect coach for us to work with us.
The director?
Later. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. And so did they send in people who were like, well, here's how the Dutch sound, and you have to listen to like hundreds of hours of like Dutch tapes and trying to figure it out? Or
They had an English dialect coach, but I've actually been YouTubing and kind of pulling something together. The Dutch actually speak very good English. It's hard to tell if they have an accent when they've been speaking it very long. So
Right.
just been kind of listening to things here and there and picking up on a way to make it
You've
sound.
done an amazing job.
well, you got to get the sing-songy
Yes,
part of it, I think,
exactly.
is the challenge, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And what kind of English accent do you have? Do you have like a Cockney? Do you have a...
I'm supposed to be Cockney. It seems like my accent has gone a little more Northern England, but
no, from London.
right. Trying very hard on that Cockney accent. Yeah.
You ever just call up your mom with that accent and just see what happens?
I have. And who is that? Why are you calling me?
That's excellent. If I could do a good accent, I would just be calling everybody in that accent.
I've
even
been talking to my
voicemail.
cats. They're a little confused.
They only understand English.
Yeah.
And then the show was April 17th to May 3rd at the Gogh Theater, and this is a show that was actually on Broadway too, right? It's being brought here as Tony Award winning originally, right? And when I think of Tonys, I think of song and dance. Is there song and dance in this one? Not
so
really.
much, no.
Okay,
A couple songs, but that's it.
I love it.
Yeah.
And then Van Gogh, I think that's like the American pronunciation of his name. Am I
It
right?
is.
Do you have to do the whole like Van Gogh kind of thing?
Well, it's kind of a joke in the play,
Oh,
So
okay.
he tells everybody how to pronounce it, and then
Does he just keep like walking around? No, it's Vincent Van Gogh.
no, he actually just wants people to call him Vincent, and so and there's a part where I get to correct people too and say it right as well, which it comes out Van Gogh.
Yeah.
I love it. Van Gogh. I got to remember that. Oh, you guys came on with the Albuquerque Theater Guild. They are some of our great friends here at the Morning Brew, and I love it when you guys get to come on and talk about this stuff. We won't miss the show. April 17th to May 3rd. It's Fridays, Saturdays at 8 and Sundays at 2. And you can get tickets at augsdog.com and find out all about theater stuff at the Albuquerque Theater Guild. And we're going to be coming back with our friend Gustavo Pimentel. We got theater folks, internationally known musicians. How much fun is that? And people were solving cancer earlier, too. This is awesome. Thanks for coming on, guys.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thank you.
it. We'll be back in a couple of seconds. The Morning Brew with friends.